All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're here for the very first time, I'm Michelle Arrington, and I'm zooming in from Athens, Georgia, from my online studio called Elevate Online Studio. And I'm happy to be here with all of you. And I just want to kind of give you an idea of what to expect in today's session so you can kind of mentally and physically prepare yourself before we begin. If you've been with me before, you kind of have an idea of what our format is like. If this is your very first time, welcome. And what we're going to do today is first just take some time to breathe and kind of check in with our bodies, see where we are today. And then we'll be cycling through these routines today where we'll take 1 minute at a time for each exercise. And then after we've had a complete set, we'll have a 30-second rest, and then we'll do it all over again. You're welcome to use mats or a heavy, safe object that is even in both hands. If that's something that you would like to add into your workout today, or you can simply do this routine without any additional weight. Ultimately, I just want to invite you all to have fun and listen to your body and adapt this routine to your own personal needs and just kind of your own personal energy today. Okay, so we're going to take a moment now just to connect to our breath, and your eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And if it feels good, you can just take a nice deep breath in and sigh that breath out. Just let it all go. And if that felt good to you, you can do that again. Inhale. Exhale, just sigh that breath out. We'll take the next 30 seconds or so just to simply bring awareness to your breath. And as you're breathing, just simply notice the rhythm and the length of your breath. Does it feel choppy or smooth? Noticing the length and volume of your breath, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being your deepest breath. Where are you within that scale of 1 to 10? And if it helps you, you can even acknowledge out loud, I think I might be a 6 or a 7 today. And we'll come back and notice at the end of today's class. So I invite you now to maybe place a hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And as you breathe in, allow your breath to expand into your hands, expanding into your belly, your ribs, your chest. And through the nose, exhale and feel your hands drawing inward, releasing all of that breath completely, like you're squeezing out the air of a balloon. And again, at your own pace, breathing deeply in, expand like you're blowing up a balloon. And through the nose, exhale, squeezing that air out of the balloon, activating your core muscles, your abdominal muscles. And again, at your own pace, breathing in deeply. And exhaling completely, connect to those abdominal muscles as you breathe out. And 30 more seconds here, just breathing at your own pace, deepening the breath, activating the core muscles, expanding the lungs, as well as calming down the nervous system. And grounding you here in this present moment. And I invite you to continue to breathe nice and easy as you start to bring some movement now into the upper body, rolling the shoulders, bending the elbows. Little juicy joints is what we call this exercise. You just want to start to wake up the joints. Maybe begin to wiggle the fingers, circle the wrists. If you want to reach high, you can reach high. If you want to drop your arms down and reach low, you can reach low. So you can follow me, but you can also then begin to move in your own body's way. So where do you want to move? Where do you feel any tension, tightness, stiffness? And just direct your breath and your awareness into those joints, into those sticky areas of your body. In traditional exercise, we tend to kind of just move in one plane of motion. But with these juicy joints exercises, we begin to work within the natural range of motion of these joints and encourage a little more movement and getting them juicy, helping them to move more efficiently through our practice today. So we're warming up the joints and the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, reaching high, wiggling fingers, circling wrists, maybe reaching in front of you, noticing that movement in the rib cage. Good. And then just let everything kind of shake everything out. Shake out your hands, your elbows, your shoulders. Make sure you're breathing, give your head a little shake. Letting go of tension, distraction. Shaking is good for reducing that tension and stress that holds in the body. And now we're going to take a breath in and just squeeze your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your face. And through the nose, release. And again, give it a good squeeze, tensing and tightening, feeling the strength of those muscles. Through the nose, if you can, exhale all of that breath, activating the abdominals, letting that breath go. And one more time here, inhale, squeeze and tense everything that you can connect to. And exhale, release, and let it go. Good. And now we're going to go for a swim. Just taking a little swim here, little chair swimming. Chair swimming also activates the brain by challenging the body to do things that we don't normally do. In a seat, you can change your swimming stroke here, turning it into a breaststroke. Good. Maybe even a little backstroke. Your eyes can watch your hands. Good. And now we're going to shake it off again, like we're shaking off all that water. Shake it all off like a wet puppy dog. Good. And now we're going to go for a little run. We're done swimming, so now we're going to run. Good. And you can run at your own pace. I'm just kind of going at a nice steady clip here. Then you can also ski, like you're holding on to those ski poles, reaching forward and back, pulling those elbows behind you. And again, we're just warming up here. This is just to move the body in several different planes and ranges of motion, getting your body and your mind ready to keep moving today. So you want to stay connected to your breath, and anytime you notice your breath becoming too quick or short or shallow, you can just slow down, take a break, and begin again when you feel ready. All right, so we're going to place our forearms over our heart and just spiral here around the rib cage. So these spirals, it's as if you're tracing the inner circle of a hoop that's just right around your ribs. Just see if you can trace that inner kind of hula hoop, invisible hula hoop. Circling the ribs, the shoulders. And this is going to feel different for everybody. So just experiment. Notice what you sense here. This helps to activate all of those core muscles and our deeper inner core muscles. Keeping the sit bones connected and grounded in your seat. Make sure you're breathing. You might start to get a little warm here. All right, we're going to go the other way and let's cross our arms the opposite way. Just for a little challenge for the brain. Again, the brain loves to be challenged. This helps to increase and improve the neuroplasticity of our brains. And that is our brain's ability to learn new things, to change and adapt. Good. So moving at your own pace, you can move slower, you can move quicker than me, you can make smaller circles or larger circles. So just let your body do what feels natural to you. Good. Warming up the core. Staying connected to your breath. Last one. All right. So you're going to hold 2 invisible tennis balls in your hands. Your elbows are tucked into your waist. And you're going to toss those balls up into the air and catch them. So you're tossing them up and catching them. And it's a bit of a small kind of circular motion here. So I'm bringing my hands forward and tossing kind of up and back. And then we'll change that direction here in just 5 more seconds. Let's go the other way, tossing them up and slightly forward. So warming up those biceps, warming up the back of the body, shoulders. Noticing how this kind of challenges and also improves posture, keeping those elbows in. Good, good, good. We got 10 more seconds. All right, and then get ready to raise the roof. So your palms are facing up. You're going to roll the shoulders back and forward and push up. So it's back, forward, press, back, forward, press. It's kind of a little half semicircle around with those shoulders. Back, forward, press. Good. Almost there. We got 20 more seconds. You might notice those muscles in the upper shoulder blade areas beginning to warm up. 5 more seconds. Last one. All right. So elbows in again. Your palms are facing up. And you're going to reach on a slight diagonal in front of you and turn your palms down. And then turn your palms up and squeeze as you pull your elbows back. So it's like this. You drop and squeeze. Drop and squeeze. Drop and squeeze. So there's a little rotation and a squeeze there, activating those biceps. Now, if you'd like to move a little faster, if this feels good to you, you can speed it up. You can also do one arm at a time. And that's an option anytime you do this work with me. You can always choose to do one side only. And I'll give you clues when it comes time to change sides if you're changing sides. Last one. All right, so that's our little warm up. We're going to take about 30 seconds to rest. Okay, so while you're resting, this is a good time to check in with your breath. You should be able to breathe easily. And if you notice your breath kind of short and shallow, come back to that heart and belly breath. And you can always take this time to have a sip of water. All right, 5 more seconds. So I'm going to do this first round without weights. So now we're going to do a little bit of rowing. So rowing our boat here, keeping that heart lifted, our eyes lifted. And you can even turn those eyes to watch your hands. So you have a bit of a twisting motion all the way through the crown of your head. So here we're activating those abdominal muscles on the sides of the body that are connected to our pelvis and our ribs. This helps to warm up the core. Good, good, good. Can even add an extra little squeeze with those hands if you want to. All right, last one. Okay, so now elbows in, palms facing up. We're going to do little crunches. It's like you're lying on the ground doing little crunches on the ground. So we're doing seated crunches, just simply dropping the lower ribs down towards the top of the pelvis. So we're not really rounding a lot through the back, it's just a little drop here in the front of the body. And then you just want to be mindful of the position of the head. Try not to let the head pull forward. So the chin stays slightly in, and keeping the neck relaxed. And if I just keep on talking, we'll just talk right on through this. We got 10 more seconds. Here comes my little Bella kitty. She always wakes up right about this time. All right. The end. Okay, so next up, we're in the perfect position. We're going to punch up, lateral fly, come back here and pull the elbows in. So it's up, open, in, pull. Now you can always choose to do one side at a time or one side only. And by working one side of the body, you're activating and challenging the core even more because we're holding ourselves upright in an unbalanced, unstable position. So that was 10 seconds there, a little more than 10. You can switch sides if you're doing one side at a time. Good. These last two, I'm going to do double. Last one. Okay, so stay here in this power position. And we're going to do a lateral crunch, side crunch, and then deltoid lift. Little crunch and lift. Crunch and lift. Now I'm taking this at a kind of a slower pace here so that you can see what it is that we're doing. And as you get comfortable, you adjust the pace to your needs. Good. And just make sure that you're muted. If you just zoomed in, you might want to just double check and make sure that you're muted. Good. Last one. Okay, so now we've got some bicep curls. So here I'm just not going to use weights the first time. I'm going to squeeze up and release. Squeeze up and release. Up and release. Up and release. So I'm doing a faster up and a slower release. This is good for muscle endurance and also helps to strengthen those tendons and ligaments around the joints. Slow, controlled movements. Got 10 more seconds. Good. And the next time around, you're welcome to use weights. So now we've got triceps extension. So you can lean forward with the arms back behind you. I'll turn to the side so that you can see this here. But we take those hands straight back. Okay, now we have choices here. You can also take it above you and reach up. So you can choose whichever feels better for you. And if you're using weights and holding on above you, please have a good grip on those weights. Okay, ideally you want to have your hands away from the head. There you go. Okay, so again, you can decide what feels better for you, and you can even decide to do it differently each time. So you have options. All right, we got 4 more seconds. Last one. And it's already time to rest. All right, great job, y'all. So that's the first round. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Have a sip of water if you need it. Check in with your breath. And then you can decide for this next round if you want to add weights or not, okay? I'm going to begin without weights, and then I'm going to add weights when we do our upper body. So here's our cross row. And I'm using my hands. I'm pretending like I'm holding on to an oar. So I have a bit of kind of squeezing and holding, activating the muscles of the upper arm, stabilizing the wrist. And while moving faster might increase your heart rate a bit, moving a little bit slower actually challenges those muscles a little bit more because we're not using momentum to help us move. So again, it's up to you what your goals are for your practice today. All right, last one. Now we have crunches. Now you can be here for these crunches. You can also be here in our power position. So I'm just showing you some alternate ways. You can also have your hands behind your head, kind of a traditional crunch position, but you want to be sure that you're not pulling your head forward with those arms. Okay, so be very mindful that you're not pulling or forcing. So the idea is for you to just pick whatever position works best in your body. I'm just demonstrating your options here again. Dropping the lower rib cage down towards the top of the pelvis. Got 3 more. All right, so here I'm going to find my weights. And we're going to punch up and open and pull back. Now you can do this slowly if you're holding weights. Mine are a little bit heavier today than they were last week, so I'm going to move a little bit slower. If you're not using weights, or if your weights are kind of light, you might be able to move a little bit quicker. So the idea is to work at your level, at your pace, and adapt to your body's needs and goals. All right, we've got 10 more seconds. Last one. All right, so now we've got our lateral crunch and then open. So this helps us to strengthen those kind of middle deltoids. Good, as well as activating and strengthening those oblique muscles. transverse abdominis. So that's 30 seconds there. And you're not really leaning, you want to crunch. So you're dropping the ribs to the top of the pelvis at the side of the body. And you could always do one side at a time and then change sides if you wanted to. Last one. All right, time for bicep curls. This time we're going to do hammer curls. So your palms are facing in. Moving at your own controlled pace, especially if you're using weights. "30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. You don't want to hold your breath. Last one. All right, we've got triceps. You can lean forward. You can do both arms or one arm. You can also reach above the head, whichever is better for you, whichever is safer. Boy, I used 3 pounds last week. Now I'm using 5 pounds. There's a big difference between 3 and 5 pounds. All right, that's 30 seconds. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Last one. All right, so you can rest here. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Have a sip of water if you need it. Make sure you can breathe easily, that your heart isn't racing. You want to feel calm and relaxed, strong and energized. All right, time to row the boat. I'm going to use one weight here, like my oar. This is already our 3rd cycle. All right. If you're using a weight like me, we're going to change our grip if you can. So change which hand is on top. If you're holding a weight, you might need to move a little bit slower. A little more mindfully. All right, last one. All right, now it's time for some crunches. So you're dropping lower ribs down towards the top of the pelvis. And again, you want to go at your own pace. That's 30 seconds. All right, got 15 more seconds. Doing great. Last one. All right, so now we're going to punch up and fly open, pull in and back. So it's a controlled punch. Elbows stay bent. I'll tell you when 30 seconds has passed. And right there, that was 30 seconds. Fifteen more seconds. Doing great. The end. All right, so now palms facing in. I've got little crunches to the side and then a lateral fly, or rather a delt lift, excuse me. Just a little crunch to each side. Just pinching the waist. That's 30 seconds. Doing great, y'all. Make sure you're breathing, check in. Remember, this is your time, this is your workout. Listen to your body and adapt. All right, time for biceps. This time we're going to go at a bit of an angle, palms facing up. So I'm doing a slower release. Thirty seconds. Doing great, y'all. 10 more seconds. Last one. Okay, so time for triceps. I'll tell you when 30 seconds is up. So if you want to do one side and then the other side, you can do that. Changing sides. Make sure you're breathing, stay connected to what you're doing. Last one. If you're doing the other side, you can switch sides or just keep on going with both arms. Doing great. Last one. And it's time to rest. All right, coming down on the home stretch. I think this is our last set coming up. So take a moment. Check in with your breath. Decide what you need from this next round. Do you want to really go for it and just challenge yourself a little bit more? Or is it time to kind of pull back and cool down a little bit? So you decide, pace yourself accordingly. And here we go. Time to cross row. You can use a weight or not, you decide. Just jump in when you're ready. You should never feel pain during your exercises. Pain is your body's signal trying to tell you to slow down or adapt, modify, rest. And same with afterwards. You don't want to feel pain after you've exercised or the next day. So if you notice a lot of soreness, then you want to remember that for the next time so that you can adapt accordingly just to get the right workout that you need. Last one. All right, time for some crunches. I've opted out of my weights for this round of crunches. You're welcome to add your weights in. Stay connected to your breath. And again, it's not a big movement and it's not about the head. So make sure your head isn't doing the work. All right, that's 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. Last one. All right, I'm going to pick up my weights for this next one. And we're going to punch up, open the elbows, pull back in and pull back. Moving at your pace. Thirty seconds. Make sure you're breathing, check in. It's easy to hold the breath sometimes and not realize it. Last one. Good. Here's our lateral crunches and our lift. Crunch, crunch, and lift. And again, just like those front crunches, it's not a big movement. You're just giving the waist a little pinch. All right, that's 30 seconds. Y'all are doing great. Can see everybody's heads and arms moving. Keeping up the pace. 10 more seconds. All right, biceps. So we're going to do 30 seconds with the palms face up. And then we'll do 30 seconds of hammer curls. Good, 10 more seconds. All right, turn your palms to face in. These are our hammer curls. This just gets a different portion of the bicep muscle. Good, one more. And time for triceps. So I'll tell you when 30 seconds is up. You can pick whatever variation is better for you today. You can change it up each time. A little variety is good for the body and the brain. All right. right, that's 30 seconds. Make sure you're holding on to that weight really well. Y'all are doing great. Last one. All right, it is already time to rest. Take a moment, check in. And after 15 seconds, we are going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to move into our cool down, into our stretch, and then we'll take a moment to breathe. All right, so core spirals again. Moving mindfully, tracing that inner circle. And again, this can be a nice, slow, easy cruise around that circle. Got about 20 seconds left before we change sides. All right, reverse your arms and reverse your circle. Make sure you're breathing. Nice and easy. Concentrating on those exhalations. The exhalations activate the core, activate the nervous system, shifting you from fight or flight into rest and digest. 20 more seconds. Good. Last one. Okay, now we're going to go for a swim again. So we're going to swim it out, moving through all of these muscle groups that we've been working so hard on today. Now you don't have to swim like me. You swim like you can do the kind of stroke that you would like. I'm just showing you examples. And you can follow me or you can do your own thing. How do you swim in a chair? Good, good. Maybe a little backstroke. All right, so let's move now into little juicy joints. So let's bring it into the wrists and the fingers, wiggling the fingers, circling the wrists around. It's like you're just floating in the air, floating in the breeze, moving in your body's way, circling the shoulders. You can take the head forward or back. You can take the head to each side. Good. And then just come back to stillness for a moment. Allow your arms and hands to rest. Take a breath, check in. And then let's drop our chin down towards our chest. Let your palms rest on your lap. And as you inhale, allow your eyes and nose to look up. As you exhale, allow your chin and eyes to drop down and maybe drop the shoulders down. And then as you inhale, lift the heart, the eyes, maybe pull the elbows back a bit. And then again, drop the chin, slide the fingers towards the knees, relax the shoulders. And inhale, slide the elbows back, lifting the heart, the eyes. Let's do that one more time, just moving at your own pace. Releasing, relaxing here. And follow that breath in, slide the elbows back. Looking up. And come back to a center neutral position. And we'll take one arm out and up and just reach over. Nice stretch into the side of the body. Now this arm can be bent. It doesn't have to be straight. So you just find what works for you. And then release that here. And we'll do the other side. Gonna let the palm lead and stretch over. And exhale, release. Just take your hands behind you. Maybe hold on to the seat behind you, or if you can interlace your fingers behind you, just whatever is comfortable for you. And just lift the heart, lift the eyes, just really breathe and expand into the chest. And let that go. Now one more time, we'll stretch the side of the body, reach up and over, little lean. And come back to center. And other side. Your height, elbow can be bent. And then come back to center. And again, holding on to the chair, interlacing your fingers behind you, just lift the heart. And exhale, release. And now cross one arm over your chest. And with your other hand, just catch the back of that arm and draw it in towards you. There's just a nice stretch here for the back of that shoulder and arm. Breathe into it. And then other side, bring that arm across. Breathe into it. And now give yourself a hug across both arms. Hug of gratitude. Take a moment to give yourself some love and appreciation for doing something good for your body today, something good for your mind. Take a nice, deep, nourishing breath. And exhale, let that breath go. Relax the shoulders. And we'll pause here and just simply return to the breath. So your palms can be facing upward, or if you want to bring your fingertips and thumb tips together, just find a comfortable position for your hands and your arms. And I invite you to just simply breathe, eyes open or closed. Breathing into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Through the nose, breathing all the way out. And this time as you breathe in, just assess your breath here, the amount of volume and space as you breathe in on a scale of 1 to 10. Let that breath go. Remembering what your number was when we began. And just acknowledge what your number is now. Has your breath capacity increased? And just for the next minute or so, I invite you to just simply close your eyes, allow your body to be still, even out your breath so that your inhales and your exhales are equal. And if it helps you stay focused, you can count and inhale to a count of 4. And then again, count and exhale to a count of 4. Modifying those numbers for your comfort. Anytime you become distracted by your thoughts, just return to your breath. And 5 more seconds. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes and release your hands. Let's just take a deep breath in, stretch your arms up to the sky. And sigh that breath out, leaving anything behind that you don't want to carry into your day with you. Then placing your hands over your heart, take a moment to acknowledge what fills your heart with gratitude. And just notice what thought or image comes to your mind. And take a deep breath in, invite this gratitude to fill your body, your heart, your mind, your spirit. And with a deep breath out, invite this gratitude to lead you back into your day with peace, strength, and ease. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. And please come back next week. Take good care. Remember to drink